It's another episode of Davis in the Dugout. Hello, Leatherneck Baseball fans. Will Thomas, Director of Broadcasting Services here at Western Illinois. Head baseball coach Terry Davis joining me once again on a fabulous Monday. Leathernecks coming off an Easter Sunday win over the Little Rock Trojans. A weekend where I think we would both say 2 wins were out there. You took home 1, and you're kind of still maintaining ground in the OVC after the weekend against Little Rock, Coach.
Yeah, it was a good day. Good day yesterday, obviously, to get out of there with a win. We kind of let one go on Friday, the game that was halted, and picked up on Saturday. We had a couple opportunities to win that game. Little Rock did a good job late in the game. You know, they got 3 hits in the 8th to tie the game. We let off the bottom of the 8th with a double, and we didn't cash in with the runner at second base, nobody out. We didn't execute. Then they come back out in the top of the 9th and back-to-back doubles, I think, to take the lead, and then we didn't do anything with that in the 9th. But that's one that we kind of let slip away, and it really didn't have as much to do with the last couple innings as it did. We just did a poor job of executing throughout the course of the game. We had a couple opportunities where we had a chance to move a guy over and get him in scoring position, or to get the guy to third base with less than 2, and we didn't execute once. We didn't execute again. And then, we get the double from Cordell that just misses going out of the ballpark. We're 6 inches away from walking that thing off on Saturday morning when we resumed it. And based on our performance of execution earlier in the game, we just thought we're going to take 3 cracks at this thing, and we weren't able to cash in, and we lost that one. But, yeah, it was a good one yesterday to get out of there with a win against a very good Little Rock team.
And we talk about it a lot, I feel like, and I want to start with your pitching, because last week we talked about the walk-to-strikeout ratio over the last couple games with your pitching staff. This weekend, they flipped the script. 24 strikeouts to just 5 walks over a good-hitting Little Rock team. But the pitching came in and dominated, it felt like, through 3 games this weekend.
Yeah, the pitching staff as a whole did a really good job, and that starts with Tripp on Friday night, and he's been really consistent, obviously, for us. But the pitching staff really got challenged as a group to get the ball over the plate and be more competitive, top to bottom. Not just Tripp and not just a couple guys, but like 8 guys.
Yeah.
And they responded in a good way, and they gave us a chance to win all 3 games. We probably should have won 2, but they did their job. The starters did their job. The bullpen did their job. Everybody that came out of that bullpen was challenged to come out of that thing with some toughness and competitiveness, and they did. To the tune of, I think 5 walks in 3 games. Yeah. Maybe 24 strikeouts.
Yep.
Is that right?
24 strikeouts, 5 walks.
Anyway, we challenged them to do that, and they did a really good job of that, and they gave us a chance to win a couple games, and we look forward to more of that the rest of the season. Every game that we play, when you go out there and you start the game, you get the ball over the plate, and you challenge people, and you have a good tempo, and you're competitive, and when that bullpen door opens, we expect the same thing. And if they do that, that'll give us a chance to win every game that we play.
Do you feel like you've started to settle in on your rotation a little bit? You had 2 starters go 6+ innings with Tripp and Buchanan. You feel like middle April we're starting to find that groove from a pitching side?
Well, it always, I think Tripp's always going to start. I think, it's still kind of up in the air a little bit week to week based on, who's the matchup, who we're playing against, who's hot right now. Most certainly Brett Buchanan with a good outing this weekend, giving us 7 on a Sunday. That was huge. So I don't know. I think that's just kind of week to week right now. And I know it's later in the season, and you should probably have a better idea for what that is. But it's just we've got Tripp is going to throw one of the games. Brett had a good one yesterday. Buell has started the majority of the time for us, but again, it's just we're getting to the point of the season where we're just looking at the team that we're playing this week. What's the best matchup for that offense that we're getting ready to face, and go from there.
That's the best thing about baseball. It's such a matchup game, and you guys obviously have the luxury. No midweek last week, no midweek this week, so you kind of get to save the arms, get a little healthier, I would say, on the mound, a little healthier around the team, and prepare for a big upcoming series this weekend.
Yeah, I think it's you can go. I always go both ways with the midweeks. I think when you don't play, it's probably a good thing. I guess you could look at it I look at it in 2 different lenses.
Mm-hmm.
As the head coach, it's probably a good thing that we're not playing this week, as we are beat up a little bit. And I think just a couple days to get our feet back under us and get ready for the weekend is a good thing. As the hitting coach, I think you want to play every single day that you possibly can play. So anyway, we'll get we'll get a couple days here. We'll be off today, and then we'll get back at it tomorrow and the next day, and then we'll get on the road to Lindenwood over in St. Charles on Thursday and practice at their place, and we'll get ready for the weekend. So anyway, it's probably a good thing to get rested up a little bit and get ready for the weekend.
So let's talk about the Lindenwood Lions and the upcoming OVC matchup, because when you start looking at the standings, you guys sit in that final spot for the OVC tournament at 3-6, right below you, 2-7 Lindenwood Lions. And this is a Lindenwood Lions team where a 2-7 conference record is a little deceiving. This team has 2 wins against SEMO. They have a win against Missouri. Like, they have beaten some good teams. They have played tough. They might have just ended on the wrong side of the final score. So how big of a weekend is it to not only try to take 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 3 to gain that separation to move towards a safer feeling when it comes to clinching a spot in the OVC tournament, but also just kind of getting the win on the road and get going?
Yeah, it's a huge weekend. Obviously, Lindenwood is we have a ton of respect for them, as we do everybody in the league. The league just continues to get better and better and better and better. In just my short time here, just over the course of the last couple of years, it's just there's no off week.
Yeah,
there's not one. And anyway, so we got a new challenge this week as we go to Lindenwood. They got off to a rough start in league play. Had a huge weekend last weekend. Took 2 out of 3 from SEMO. We all know that's tough to do. What's the challenge going to be with Lindenwood is they're going to really pitch really well. They're going to really challenge you offensively. They're going to throw strikes. They're going to get after it. They're going to mix in break them all the stuff. They can pitch really well. Their ballpark, who knows how the wind is going to be blowing this weekend there, if at all. But their ballpark it's really tough to score. So the priority, is going to have to be on execution. You're looking at with Tripp and their projected Friday guy on the mound. You're looking at a 4-3 game on Friday, and then next thing you know, it'll be 13-12.
Yeah.
But it's a ballpark in which it's tough to get a base hit on a ball in the air, and it's tough to get a base hit on a ball on the ground. The turf's pretty slow. So you've got to get the ball in the middle of the field, hit a bunch of line drives. You got to execute when you get an opportunity, and like I said, that's typically what it looks like at their place. And this weekend could be totally different, but we'll adjust, and we're looking forward to getting down there. And it's a well-coached team, and they'll be most certainly a challenge. Just you don't need to look at their record; they will be just fine.
You mentioned it. They play on a turf field. How different is it preparing for a week when we have the natural grass with the dirt? And then you go, obviously you guys are going down Thursday to get hopefully a little feel on their field with the turf. But how different do you have to structure your practices? Do you have to structure, your prep work going into a series where you're going to go play on turf?
Well, going to play on turf, that's actually a really good thing. I think that's, college baseball in the Midwest that's just where it's going. Is everybody has turf, and we're getting to the point to where you almost have to have it. But anyway, to answer your question, going from natural to turf is much easier than going the other way.
Okay.
From turf back to natural. When you're on turf, on turf, you're going to get more consistent, more normal, natural hops. You don't have to worry about the grounds crew and the grass and this and that. So it'll be good. We'll expect to play good defense. We've played relatively good defense throughout the course of the year. And defensively, it should be an easy transition to the turf this weekend. They've got a nice ballpark. It's very nice turf. It's just a little slow. So, again, as the hitting coach, it's not something you get too excited about. I'm sure the pitching coach is more excited about it than I am. But anyway, we're all playing on the same field. It's a nice campus, nice ballpark. They do a good job with it, and we're excited to get down there and get going.
It's a nice field. It's hopefully going to see some Leatherneck wins this weekend as Western Illinois travels down to St. Charles to take on the Lindenwood Lions. All those games can be found on ESPN Plus as well as on GoLeathernecks.com. As a radio broadcast, as Caden Strenz, the voice of Western Illinois baseball this week, will be making the trip down for a big OVC matchup. This has been another episode of Davis in the Dugout. Go Necks.
Go Necks.